From the bottom. From the bottom. You know we got 'em.
Still live?
Passenger.
Oh, we always still live, baby. We live. Facebook right behind this shirt. Oh, I'm
Bill
loud.
O'Reilly.
I'm loud as cheese though right now. Let me go ahead and cut this down, man. How y'all doing out there? All our Facebook guests. There's only two people. It's Desiree.
Hold on. She just trying to make sure I'm over here.
He over here, Dad. If he wasn't,
He made it.
I don't know.
I think next to your car.
No,
Oh,
his
I'm
car
all the way
over there.
here.
I wonder what the charge. I like he must
Dude.
drove the girl car.
Son came up in here. I'm like, what the hell? It was like a little Corolla or something. I'm like, that ain't the Corolla. Man, I look back, I'm like, oh, that's Chris. Looking for a parking spot. Because they pull over here. They extra pull. So, y'all know what it is. Wake up, wake up, wake up. This thing is still extra loud. Let me cut it down maybe a little bit.
Shit, the game.
With a gain that. Gain extra high, though.
Put in the middle. Then say something.
Let me say her.
Who like
Hello.
that, Chris?
Nah, that's me at the bottom. Go ahead, y'all say something.
Something. Is it registering?
Go ahead. Do it again.
Hello.
Wait a minute.
That's a little
You got
better.
the mic turned right. Nope, he don't.
What is
What
it?
happened?
The mic turned the wrong way.
Turn it around.
The
How
mic
you
turned.
turn it?
The mic turned this way.
Oh, y'all gonna have to. It's my baby fault.
Now say something, Chris.
Hello.
Okay, it's better. Now we on. Now we back. Now we back. How y'all doing out there, folks? Everybody look sleepy today, yo.
I know Chris.
That long
I had
drive.
a long day, man.
Man, I guess it's because I ain't bald. Y'all did.
Well, that was
Y'all feel
yesterday.
it.
He did it today, though.
Oh,
I
well, what's your
overdid
excuse?
it.
Being a parent,
Kids
huh?
sports.
Kids. Oh, today too?
Yeah, man. That's
Who
that.
played today?
As
As
she played, she had 2 basketball games and 2 soccer games.
Too bad. Wait,
I thought I did a lot today.
dude, you look like you played today.
No, that was yesterday. She had the 2 basketball,
Oh,
and then
okay.
the soccer. Then today she had soccer.
Oh,
She putting in
Well,
work.
is she tired?
Them kids don't get tired
Nah, she
like
don't
that.
get tired, not yet.
Man, shit, my oldest man, he wake up, man. I'm sleepy, PC. Can I go back to sleep? I'm like, dang. That's all bad, man. So what we got here?
This the beginning of the episode.
It's the beginning. We back at y'all. It's the trio.
Hey, say y'all, we appreciate y'all listening.
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
go on and leave a review on iTunes
Mm-hmm.
and Google Play
Google Play,
or whatever y'all listen to us on.
Spreaker, Stitcher. Yo, do you
I
ever?
just wanted to say that. Y'all keep it going.
No, but do you ever check Stitcher?
No,
I don't either.
I forgot to log in.
Y'all on Google Play?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. It's
Google
cool.
Play Music. Oh
Yeah, I
man,
think
we climbing.
on
Good deal.
everything. We're on
Climb,
iHeart.
climbing the rankings. I like
Yo,
that.
we climbing the rank. It's like Spidey, bro.
Yeah, we're on iHeart.
Well deserved, guys.
Oh man.
Thanks to you, Chris.
Yeah, man.
And all the
I ain't
guests,
doing nothing.
I
all the
think today.
guests,
Hey,
the
I
guests
think
and the listeners and
Yeah, it's a group.
everybody
Yeah,
who's
it's a
on
group
there.
effort.
we need to have our story time with Chris.
Stories, man.
Oh snap!
I like the cast y'all did with Seth though. He had some pretty good stories.
He
too.
did,
Yeah,
man.
he did.
I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, man. I'm like, oh snap! Son, he been all over.
I know. That's why I said, you know that he has stories because all the places that he been.
Yeah,
And I know it's difficult. Like my wife would never let me be away from the family
for that long. I think you know what? I would probably feel it would be different. It'd be a different feeling. You know, constantly leaving. But let me see. His kids are young though.
You have to think it's a double-edged sword,
So,
though.
no, you got. I mean, his girl came into it knowing that that's what he did.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
good. Yeah,
And plus, you know, by him doing that, she don't really have to work.
yeah.
So, you know, and plus sometimes she get to go on trips with him.
And that is the plus side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, then every time he comes home, you know, their time is maybe is that much more valuable, you know, because
Yeah.
he ain't there.
He don't see her every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So You know, maybe that keep it hot. You know
Shoot,
what I
he
mean?
leaving out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Dang,
leaving
is
tomorrow.
he?
Yeah, he leave tomorrow.
Yeah,
Damn.
That's what he said yesterday.
Yeah. But hey, man.
He said when he get back though, he gonna be back for a while, and he said that we need to train for Hoop Fest.
We
He
do.
gonna be back for 2 weeks when he come back.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
A week and a half,
That's
2
an
weeks.
eternity for him.
hey.
I swear, it's like he be going to jail or something.
Man, son, hey, I'll be out. I mean, I'll be back. Yeah, man. That's crazy, man. So what we got on
But we're gonna get this started.
What we got on the table? You know what I told him, son?
No.
I was thinking about this one thing. How would you feel if you was a bank teller, right? And there was a stuttering bank robber roll up on you.
They give you time to press the button.
They give you time to press the button.
Yeah.
But what if it's like, okay, what if you're so scared you can't press the button? But in the midst of him doing all that, it's like, well, about time you finish your story, the police are already be here. I ain't really got to do nothing.
Well, if you don't press the button, how they gonna be there?
I'm just saying, you think about it. You no, because there's always people like they'll be in the movie. I suspect it. Shut the thing down. Won't let anybody in. So all of a sudden, you know, they can say that
Like a
that's
heist.
yeah, you know, like a heist or whatnot. That's how they know. You know, call get around because you know what I'm saying. Now you got phones, Facebook Live is junk live before the police even get there.
If he, so if he's stealing from the bank, he
saying.
part of a crew.
What would you?
That means that 9 out of 10, they not gonna let him be the one who say this a stick up.
But what if it was like a stuttering heist though? All of them was stutters.
That'd be a long heist.
Let me switch y'all up a little bit more though.
Oh, what?
What if he go in to rob the bank
Mm-hmm.
and he really can't get it out because he's stuttering? He's like, you know, this is prank, you know. And then you already pushed the button and the police come and arrest him. So
That'd
he'll
be-
trip you out,
he'd be
right?
like, I
You'll
couldn't-
never know.
He gets
Well-
so agitated, he just.
Man, listen, this the time when he should have gave her a note.
Hey, he
That's
stuttered for
prob-
so long.
You know what? That's probably the best thing to do anyway
Just
in
write
that
a note.
situation.
But
But
what if
most
he-
of them do that now.
But
They
what
just
if
write
he
a note.
stutter
to
in a
you.
rope?
They don't
In
want
a
to
note.
start a. They don't really want to start a riot. You that remind me of Life. You know, Life with Eddie Murphy, and Martin Lawrence, the
Yeah.
boxer that be stuttering and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what that remind me of.
Hey, speaking of Black History, yo, I have to give a shout out to that movie specifically, yo. That movie had like the best cast. I mean, all-star cast, older cast, because there is no Fox, there is no Pryor, no old Eddie Murphy or Charlie. Well, Charlie didn't do too much in that movie though.
Who?
But
Charlie
what you
Murphy.
mean, old Eddie Murphy?
I mean, like when Eddie Murphy was in his prime, Eddie Murphy.
Man, Eddie
Back then,
Murphy
versus
still.
now, because no, I'm saying you don't
He's
hear
right
too
though.
much about him.
He's right.
Think
Eddie
about
Murphy
it, 'cause
had prime.
he was in his prime because he was everywhere. Before it was these Dr. Doolittle movies and whatnot. Because when Nutty Professor came out, he was hot. Then I don't know what happened.
You know, he just
Some of them slowed
probably
down.
calmed down a little bit, and then he started doing a lot more kid movies. But you knew that was his prime because he got Rick James to park in that movie. A lot of people don't even know that was Rick James. Spanky Johnson's Rick James. A lot of people don't even know that.
You for real?
Yeah.
Never
See,
knew
that's
that.
what I said. A lot of people don't even know that. But
Wait a
you
minute,
know,
Rick James was in that movie.
yeah, he was Spanky
Oh,
Johnson.
that's who that was. You never knew that. Huh?
Yeah, that was
No, I
Rick James. But it's real funny you mentioned that movie because, you know, I used to have a lot of arguments with like my family, like especially my mom, because she'd always try to find a way to be like, I don't like that movie. And I said, well, why? It's a really good movie. She's like, it just reminds me of, you know, the
Back
way
in the
that
day.
black people were treated back in the day. You know, we never got a fair shake. You know, they would, and I'm like, yeah, that's true, but it's how are you looking at it? You know, I'm looking at it as a comedy movie. You know, with very talented people portraying it. I mean, I can see your point, but I don't think you should say I don't like the movie just because of that. We had a lot of those arguments. I remember we were talking about District 9. You remember District 9, the alien
That's
movie?
the alien
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
When they segregate the
She
aliens.
was
Yeah.
like totally against that movie. She's like, all you got to do is just replace the aliens with the black people, and you'll get a sense of reality. And I'm like, while that may be true and that may be, you know, a little concerning, it's like you really just have to take the movie in for what it is.
Yeah.
And I personally, you know, enjoyed the movie. And so I used to always get into these spats, specifically with my mom, sometimes with my uncle.
Yeah.
You know, and then it like trickles down, and sometimes with my cousins. And I'm like, the way you guys view movies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how you be viewing horror movies then? Because me, I go into horror movies and I like them because I like the creativity behind them. I like this creativity, the stories. I like the special effects, the graphics, or the gore. I like all that stuff, you know?
Like she was comparing them to, like,
Real.
the movie you replace them with black people.
Yeah.
You know, but then, like, with life, there's a lot of people who go through that. They innocent.
Yeah.
But then, you know, back then they was getting charged.
Yeah.
And getting a lot of time when they really didn't do nothing.
Absolutely.
Then
But
District 9 is the same as,
thing, yeah.
like, the segregation. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's what they did with the aliens. Now it was everybody against the aliens.
Yeah. Them
You know,
aliens.
so-
And
It was
I'm
an
conscious,
all-time
you know what I
gangsta
mean?
high, Yeah. That's
You know,
true.
so I'm conscious, and as I get older, you know, I get it, and I understand how you can kind of go into a movie and see it that way. But, you know, they were just all about those movies where they had the strong African American character, and I'm like, you know, just a strong character. But as I get older, I understand it's because it's real seldom. You know, it doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
And they were just obsessed with the Night of the Living Dead because Dwayne Jones was, you know, back then it was really controversial to have him as a lead hero character, and you know he struck a white woman in the movie, and so that was like, you know, the movie was very, very much shunned upon in the South at that point because that was just unheard of. But it still prospered. It still became a popular movie. Sure, he gets shot in the head at the end of the movie. I don't mean to throw out spoilers and nothing for anybody who ain't seen Night of the Living Dead. Come on, y'all.
Right there.
But no, it's not the same guy. Candyman's
not the
Tony
same?
Todd.
You sure?
Yeah, that's not.
Well, let me ask you-
Night of the Living Dead, 1960s.
Wait.
Candyman.
You talking about the
1988.
old?
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
you were talking about the.
Oh, you talking about the remake? Yeah, that is Tony Todd.
Yeah,
That is
I'm about
Tony
to say,
Todd.
that
You're
was
right.
Candyman was gangster.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm talking about the old movie back
Oh,
then
the
in the
old,
60s,
old
the
one.
black and white.
I don't know.
Well, sure, you know, in New Orleans, they still got plantation tour.
Yo, wait. Plantation who?
Tours.
Oh yeah, they do. Now,
Now,
is it in
don't you
New?
think that should be gone? Like, who really want to see a plantation tour?
Bruh.
Some people want to see it. I can't tell you what should be gone and what shouldn't be gone. You know, it's just my opinion, but I just
Would you
think
take
for
one?
society
I
is
see,
like
I think for history
something else now,
purposes.
man.
And but then there are some people, like some tourists, that want to go and buy that. That if they're able to buy that land, I think they'll go in or something similar. You see what I'm saying? Because if you go out to the outskirts of New Orleans, to like Jennings when they had that Jenna 6 at,
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember. Yeah,
the kids.
Yeah, the kids. If you constantly go in the country, there's a lot of places like that. And honestly, I wouldn't put it past if it was still like stuck in the 40s and 50s. Like,
I don't know. I
that's
just don't know
cool.
no black people want to see a plantation tour.
no, I
You
wouldn't
right.
want to see a plantation either.
Because I mean, you know what happened. You know,
Do you feel you will feel you will feel like the pain and suffering if you were to go or get a glimpse of it?
yeah, because I know what's happening.
Yeah. But man, it would be like extremely harsh and hard, man. Just to see from what's in the movies, though.
But I mean, that's just like going to a house that you know a lot of people got murdered in, but they having tours there now. You know, you
And
ain't
they
gonna
do
feel
that.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like wait, like who?
And they do that. They, I don't know if they still do the H.H. Holmes place in Chicago, but they used to do that. H.H. Holmes is like
Al
the
Capone?
first American serial killer. He's a dude that looked like, I don't know, he had the stupid Western mustache. That one you got on that picture up there, right there. He had the top hat on, the Monopoly hat. And he was a dude that would invite people would stay at this hotel, and this hotel was like rigged for death, and he killed tons of people at this hotel. He was the first like real
what's
American
his
serial
name?
killer. H.H. Holmes.
I ain't never
H.A.
heard of this dude.
And you could
H.H.
tour the
Holmes?
building in Chicago. I don't know if they still do it now, but you could at some point.
So how did they figure it out? They must figure out one couldn't
I
be that many
don't
accidents.
remember. I can't remember if somebody got away or escaped. I can't remember the entire story. Forgive me, but
If he had a rig for
he
that.
did get caught and he got executed.
You got executed?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was way back in the day. That's like in the, I think, maybe even late 1800s, early 1900s.
Man, They used to do
That was in Chicago.
Damn,
Sad, man.
that's a bit, man.
It used to go down in Chicago,
Yeah.
just like Al Capone Valentine's Day Massacre.
Oh, I ain't hear about that.
You never heard that? You heard that, ain't it?
Yeah, of course.
Not
yeah,
the
yeah.
massacre. No, I never heard.
Chicago.
Of
It used to go down in my city too, in Detroit. You know,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
real.
What's
I didn't even know about the Chamber Brothers. I didn't know much about
They from
them.
close to where I'm from.
Yeah, I
Chamber
didn't know.
Brothers?
Yeah, they're real close
country
to where you're
boys
from.
who went up
From
to
Alabama.
Detroit no, they're from Arkansas.
Arkansas, excuse me.
Yeah, went up to Detroit and took over. They only got
Took
caught
over.
because they videotape a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they got one set of videotapes got them
Yeah.
caught, but that's where New Jack City. That's what they're based off of. The
Off the
Chamber
Chambers?
Brothers. Yep. That's what they based off of.
Damn, so they from where you from, son?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
like right on the outskirts of this. They're in the country part.
Yeah.
From where I'm from.
Very smart guys. Most of them, you know, they had one
Small.
guy who was like real cool and laid back about stuff. You know,
Mhm.
he was smart about his money, smart about the people. But then you had the more hothead brother
Yeah.
who was like
The
real
one.
like more drill sergeant oriented and more.
I'm surprised 4 people from the country can come up to Detroit and take over like that.
Well, I mean, they were around that type of stuff with their dad and their mom even, and where they lived, they had a lot of that stuff around them. A lot of the criminal expertise and the street expertise around them. So they just took it up there and it just blew up. Sometimes you take a shot and it works out. They
Yeah.
met. I can't remember the younger brother who went up there and met this guy he worked with who was like a marijuana dealer, and they moved from marijuana to crack
Yeah.
cocaine.
They had the store.
And then
I
crack
think that
cocaine
was a
took over,
transition,
man.
man.
Yeah.
Once marijuana hippie stage, and then
Crack
Well,
cocaine
once you
wasn't
figure-
big then
Once
either.
you figure out you can make more money, you just keep going up, just like now. Everybody got the opium crisis.
Man, that's going crazy.
That's real sad, man. But you know, it's just something crazy about addiction that I personally think that some of it's genetic. Like I think you get some of it
Yeah.
genetically.
It is.
Hold up, wait a minute. We just had to take a quick break in between this episode to let y'all know that y'all can leave a voicemail for us if you want to come in on a show or, just talk to us or leave us a message. The number is 253-234-7149. Special shout out to our networks that we're on. Check them out. They got some awesome episodes and shows and DJs. X Squad Affiliate, Stand Up, Fat Lows Radio. You can also catch our show on iTunes. We're on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, and your favorite podcast apps. Also, don't forget, if you got kids who watch YouTube videos, check out Dat Kids, D-A-T Kids, YouTube channel. And if you like to listen to some great music, check out my co-host, JR.504 SoundCloud page. Now back to our regular scheduled program.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
I mean, but then it's just like most of everything. Like if one of your parents is an alcoholic, it's a good chance that if you drink, you're gonna become an alcoholic.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it do have a lot to do with genetics.
that DNA
But
runs
now-
strong.
Some of it is some kids just do it and they get hooked on it. So
Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you do have kids sniffing hand
if
sanitizers.
you don't do it,
I don't
Eating
know.
Tide Pods. And,
Eating.
yeah.
How does that even look like? I don't know.
you
man.
really don't got a grasp on your child if your child's out there eating Tide Pods. What did you teach them as they were getting up there? You know, like my boys, I said, once you get old enough, I'm not going to be able to tell you to do this and tell you that. You're going to make your own decisions. But my job is to put you in a position to make the right ones.
The right ones.
Whether you make it or not, that's on you.
Yeah.
But, because who's made all the right decisions in their life?
Well, we
Right,
used,
yeah.
But see, this is the thing, we used to do crazy stuff, but it was sensible. Like if we wanted, like what, sneaking cereals. Parents say we can't have none. Wait till they go to sleep. Sneak some cereals. Versus now, parents say you can't eat. Okay, I'm gonna go drink some Tide. What?
I know.
That's what you
I
had.
used to do like knucklehead
once
stuff, like take my mom's SUV when she was sleeping because she left the
Ooh.
keys out there, so I had to go snag it and go
Yeah,
get
it
some
wasn't that
fast
bad.
food with
It wasn't that
my buddy because Burger King was kind of right up the road, like a half a mile. So
How
I
old
just take
were you?
it. I was 16, 17. I was old enough to
had
drive.
a license.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
you.
But
oh,
my mom
yeah.
wasn't gonna let me take out the car at like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, and go to Burger King and get some
no.
food with my buddy who's staying with me.
Mm-hmm.
But we like sneak. He tried to like peer pressure me into it. And I was like, dang man, I really want some Burger King too. We grabbed the keys and go.
I got you.
One
I got
night
you.
though, check this out. So one night we stole it. We went to Burger King and I was sitting there at the light and I was looking in the bag and at the corner of my eye, I thought the light turned green, but it didn't. And I pulled forward and I tapped the dude in front of me. Right? Oh, this is so funny. And so my life is flashing in front of my eyes because I'm like, my mom don't even know I got this car. What's gonna happen here? I'm in trouble. And so we pull over the side of the road, and this guy's like just a total punk. He's like, "Oh man,
I hurt my neck."
yeah." And no, he wasn't like that. He was like, "Oh man, I know there's no damage here, but one time my friend got in an accident, and like he tried to drive off, and his bumper fell off." And I'm like, "There's like no, I barely touched you." And so the cop come, which is really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it was because he was a black cop or what it was, but he got there and this guy's like complaining to him, talking about taking my information, and he's like, "There's no damage." And I told him, I said, "Officer, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, but I barely touched him. Like I barely touched the car."
Mm-hmm.
And then the officer was like, "All right, well, this is a ridiculous situation." And he starts kind of arguing with the guy, and the guy's like, "Fine, whatever. If the bumper falls off, I'll sue the department." He gets to the car, he drives away, and the officer's like, "You all right? Just be careful out there in the road." He was very annoyed that he was brought out for that car accident, so he kind of sided with us. Saved my life. Saved my life. No, I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
With permission?
The last time that I
you
took the
did.
truck.
No, you did?
There wasn't no permission.
No,
You
last
tell
time
you
I
said-
took the truck, we went to some pizza place, got the pizza, came back, and that was the last time that I took it. I even
Were you
remember
sweating
that.
buckets after you hit that car?
Oh yeah, I was
His
told
life
you my
flashed
life
before
flashed
him.
before my eyes.
Shoot, he
My
was thinking
mom
about
would've killed
everything.
me.
They probably like, what the
What-
boy on? He on some drugs.
He's
He up
on-
here
I was like,
sweating.
what if I'd have hit the car and did some damage? Then I'd have been in like big trouble. you
That's
know?
like off a Good Burger.
Good burger. That's what I was thinking, right?
That's great. That's the movie right
I
there.
was watching
son.
that the other day.
Oh,
Good
for real?
Burger, yeah.
That's when I was seeing
When
you.
I was like
ever
10
that
years
crazy.
old. No, I was like, when did
Nah,
Good Burger come
me
out?
either.
No, I was like 12.
like
years old,
90 something,
like
huh?
Like 96.
Yeah, surely
Something
was.
like that. And I remember it came out, and I used to have the biggest crush on Carmen Electra. And like she has a uncredited cameo in the movie,
Yeah.
and she was something else.
She was
man.
some
But
high back in the
Ed
day.
was killing her, bro.
Swirl.
Ed had me dying.
That's it with the swirl.
Ed was killing her, man. Like that Good Burger, that was my stuff. I was
You-
actually watching that a couple days ago. Just
Yeah.
on TV.
I used
Man,
to always eat a
still
burger,
love it.
watch a
You-
good burger.
Dog, I used to always want to know what was in that Ed sauce. Like, for
That's
real.
just special sauce. Like
Listen, man.
I know,
it was
but-
steroids in that thing. That's why them burgers was getting so big.
you talking about Mondo Burger?
Man, I'm
Mondo
talking about
Burger.
the sauce.
Oh yeah.
The sauce look. The big dude. Check out this sauce.
Well, the secret sauce that who carries secret sauce right now?
Oh,
A
Is it Chick-fil-A?
McDonald's,
Don't know,
freaking-
not Chick-fil-A. Oh, Chick-fil-A probably got some.
they got. I ain't gonna lie,
Junior
it's
got
good though.
some.
Is it called Junior's?
Yeah, they're all
Don't
sorts
the
of burger
wing
places got some.
Wing stop?
Don't Buffalo.
Yep.
Don't Buffalo Wild Wings got some Cal. You're looking at the spokesperson.
Oh man, I was that place faithfully.
I was about to go there. I was about to go there yesterday. I love B-dubs.
Yeah.
If you go on Thursday, you get half off.
It's
Oh.
Thursday. I thought it was. You know what, son? I did. The family even say X Cal. See when they have.
Kyle's middle name is B-dub.
We was gone. I was like, when do they go? They ain't say call the store. They said call Uncle Cal.
Man,
I was
Let's
like,
go up there and get a brew one time. Get some
Yo, we
wings
should.
and hang out.
Yo, we
what I
should.
wanna do is go catch a game.
Hey, March Madness coming up though,
Oh,
son.
you're right.
That'd be dope. Get a little group of fellas.
Well, ain't no Michigan
Y'all
school
wanna-
gonna be in, so Chris don't want to go.
Oh, They
Hey
terrible this
man,
year.
my Michigan team's gonna make it in there. We're talking about both of them gonna make it.
What's the one squad your boy play for? Trey Young.
Oh,
He
Oklahoma.
did.
Is it Oklahoma?
Yeah, Oklahoma.
That boy nice dog.
Yeah, but they might
But
not
they
make the
exposing
tournament
him,
though.
You think so?
No, they're
started-
not.
they started
They
to
ain't
slow him
exposing
down.
him, man. He's still putting it, but he can't carry that team.
Yeah,
now.
he
That's the
can't carry
problem.
that team.
I ain't gonna
The
lie.
problem is not him. He's a great player, and they're not really exposing him because his numbers are still tight.
He
He's
don't got
had
the
like
pieces.
1 or 2 off games, and he don't got the pieces to succeed. I don't
Hey,
even know if
bro,
they'll make the tournament.
it's just
the way
like,
they've been playing.
it's just like Warriors, dog. They had that one piece, but the guys around you, man. You just get some solid cats with the IQ, just to know basketball. Because you ain't got to be extremely fast to dominate. Look, I ain't gonna lie. Look at Kurt and them. I'm saying,
Look
well,
at who?
Kurt, Dave, Steve, and
Ant.
I mean, look how long they've been playing together.
exactly
the
my
point.
point. And then basketball, they have the IQ
They
of
complement
where to
each
go.
other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, you got all them right pieces. I mean, like the Warriors got
Man.
all the right pieces. Like Draymond don't score, but he get the assist.
He
and
get the
rebound.
assist and the rebound.
Curry just shoot it. You know, he ain't gonna hold defense that much.
Nope.
Durant shoot it. He versatile in and out,
Yeah.
and he got defense.
Clay will
and
shoot.
Clay is a shooter. who can
And he
hold
play defense. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
even if you take one of those out, the other three, then that's when Draymond will pick his stuff up
He'll pick it, yeah.
and score more points.
That's
Yeah, I
that.
heard-
You know what? That's like us. I was saying that when us four play.
Just
What's
got to
that?
find a way to complement each other. That's why we
Yeah.
play together, so we get comfortable with what everybody does.
And you know what? You know when I noticed that? When the day I showed up late and y'all had the other guy. I ain't gonna lie, son. Watching y'all play
Oh, at the Y.
at the
Yeah.
Y, watching y'all play, I'm like, yo, I honestly felt like I was playing another team. If I didn't play with y'all, I think y'all played for some years. I ain't gonna lie, cause y'all was cutting, moving. I'm like, wait, I play with them. Let me go ahead and see what I can do. But I'm saying, just to see that, it's like, damn, yo, we got a little squad, yeah.
Did y'all hear about they supposed to be bringing basketball here to Key Arena? I think it's going to
Oh.
be Golden State versus
Sacramento.
Sacramento. Yeah,
Yeah.
you saw that?
Oh, they bringing it here?
Yeah.
Well, preseason. So, you know, carrying them, if they do play, probably just be like a quarter.
They're trying to stimulate the... No, it'll be a full game, but they're trying to stimulate the
Not the-
basketball population
Well,
here
not no
because...
preseason.
Man, it's already.
Carrying them not playing the
Oh,
whole
no,
preseason
not
game.
the starters. I mean, they'll play a full
Yeah,
game,
they
but
gonna
not the
play a full
starters.
game.
But just to have an NBA game here since the Sonics, man, people gonna love that. Though. But
Yeah,
I don't know because
Portland
it's
was nice, though. Oh, yeah.
They're trying to,
going.
right? Though
They-
they're
they
trying to
finna,
stimulate that population so that
They
they can
finna
bring
change
basketball
the Key
back.
Arena and make it bigger.
Yeah,
oh yeah, that thing is huge. Well,
Yeah.
it could be bigger.
they're trying to bring that basketball back, man.
Dog,
I'm
if they
excited.
do, dog, I think that thing will be sold out every night. I don't care how poor the team is.
No,
They will be-
because when they was sucking before they left, they won.
But think about it. But think about it. It's like you don't know what you have until it's gone.
Yeah,
now people like,
yeah,
yo,
they
because me,
appreciate
I'm
that.
like,
I
man.
buy season tickets.
But if y'all pay attention, though, y'all know Oklahoma City went to the finals the next year. So if the Sonics would have kept him one more year, they would have drafted Russell Westbrook,
Yep.
and they would have went to the finals.
Well, no,
so
they did
it just
draft Russell, and then they moved.
and then they moved,
Oh,
right? So you're
oh.
right. So then they probably could have made it to the finals the
Oh,
next year.
man.
Isn't that crazy? So
Dude,
you just
it's-
never know. You got to
yeah.
stick with your team sometimes, man.
I mean, but just think, if you up here in Seattle almost like the Bay Area with technology. They got
Yeah.
Amazon, Google, Microsoft up
Dude.
here. You know, it's nothing but billionaires and money up here. And for you
they're
not
gonna
to
bring
have a
basketball
team-
back. They're gonna bring it back.
For you
I
not
mean,
to
look
have
at
a
the
team.
Seahawks. You got to get on a list just to go to the games.
$250 for nosebleed seats.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
And season tickets sold out. You got to get on the waiting list.
I try to go to the
Baseball.
Lions game.
Baseball still get a lot of money, and they've been losing. So,
That's cool.
you know,
They still losing.
yeah.
Not
So,
me.
you know, everybody get tired of going all the way to Portland for a game.
I know that's too far because we do have some basketball heads, and I myself, man, I ain't start liking basketball till I came up here. I knew how to play, but I only and one. You remember when and one was business?
Heck yeah,
Everybody,
mixtapes.
yeah, put the ball in your shirt, hot sauce, woo, professor.
Yeah,
And then all of a sudden, I moved up here, man. Shoot,
the air up there.
oh man,
When he did that 720 dunk, and I was like, dang.
dude, them dudes. Yeah, I used to like the main event in Escalade. Them boy, man, Escalade was a big dude with handles. He could play. I'm like, man, he can't even move, but he's still moving.
Well, you couldn't get around them.
You could
what.
not get
No.
around it. Shit, that was a roundabout.
I seen
you
the
couldn't
professor
get around.
play, clip of him play last month, and he was tooling this Asian kid up. HK was trying to throw hands with him. He's getting so
You
embarrassed.
got that mad?
Yeah.
What professor do? He probably played
Nothing.
it cool,
The teammates came up and
Like,
kind of like,
Yeah.
what you gonna do? And
Yeah.
his team was like, no.
Yeah, y'all
So,
chill out, man.
yeah.
This is our job. We ain't trying to fight no. Well, yeah.
Well,
I feel played like if I was to be guarding Bone Collector.
But I mean, once you think about it, in one really regular basketball.
No, it was fun.
No.
It was
Entertainment,
fun, but
yeah.
I mean, you gonna get shook if you can carry and double and travel and all the other stuff with the ball.
And that's true.
I mean, how you
We
not
can have
gonna-
people travel all the time at the Wild.
Dude.
Oh, man.
They be doing that James Harden / LeBron step. One dude did a hop step, then he took 2 more steps. I'm like, player, you in Texas yet? I'm like, how you do that?
You got to keep them fundamentals strong, man.
Yeah, man. That's hard to come by.
But
Fundamental?
shit, man, we got to get into this cryptocurrency.
Oh.
We got to get some knowledge because, Chris know about this stuff.
Yeah. I need to
You know.
learn.
And, yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
trying
That's
to
why
learn.
yeah. Well, he right here.
And here he is.
You know. Now, don't go out there and buy the stocks. Now, just listen to the words that he tell y'all and let it marinate.
Let it marinate.
I don't know what y'all want to know. I'll tell you like high level. So the Bitcoin is the platform. If Bitcoin price go up, most of the alternative coins price go up too. So you always invest into the platform at some point, as well as you have your investments in any altcoins that look like you believe in their business or the person who is the owner of the business. Like, for example, do you guys know what Alibaba is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the son
Alibaba.
to the owner of Alibaba owns the Tron company that has the alternate coin card TRX, and so he always sending out updates about what what Tron is doing, and what could be happening with the coin if they partner with Alibaba, which is a high probability with him having, the family connection. Then that coin would probably take off.
Well,
When I bought the coin, it was like 1/100 of a cent, and now it's at 4 cents, and I have like 11,000 of it because it was at 1/100 of a cent.
Yeah.
So 11,000 is nothing,
Yeah.
right? But when Bitcoin was up at its highest at about 19K, TRX was 9 cents. And so because it was 9 cents, I had about $3,000. So I sold until I got back down to the initial amount that I had. And that's how you make money off of it. You give yourself a limit and you sell when it hits that limit. You leave in what you initially invested, but you sell back down to that level so you can take your free revenue out of it and you make cash from it.
So
And that's how that works. But you always buy when it's going down, and you always sell when it's going up, no matter what. You cannot predict when it's going to hit its all-time low. You can't predict when it's going to hit its all-time high. You just have to try to get it right and follow the market and follow the news and find out what's happening. So that's the best way to do it. There's a lot of good altcoins out there. I mean, there's over 400 altcoins. Not all of them are good, but there's a lot of them available. So if you do look to get into cryptocurrency, I think now is a good time, because what happened was so we were talking about Bitcoin back in 2014. I didn't invest. One of my buddies did. Yeah. And so he's in the cryptocurrency market, and he's been in the market since 2014, and he's made so much money that he doesn't have to use any of his money outside of cryptocurrency for investments. And so he has like a bunch of CPUs that mine coins on a daily basis, and so he's just making all sorts of digital revenue with money that he made from investing into a Bitcoin back in 2014 when it was like $100-$200, and now it's like 10,000.
Each one was $100.
Now each one is about 10,000. At one point, it was 19,000, like about 3 months ago.
Yeah.
But what happens is the Bitcoin became a little bit more talked about in the mainstream, and so a negative press started to come out, and people started to think this stuff, they're called panic sellers. So people started to think that because this negative press came out, oh snap, we need to dump this. And so the more people dumping their Bitcoin, the lower the price drops. And because the price started dropping lower and lower, more people started panicking and dumping their coins. So the price went from 19,000 all the way down to the lowest I seen was 5,800.
So
that's a huge drop.
So is that a good time to?
That's a good time to buy.
Okay.
If you're not a panic seller.
Yeah.
Because most panic people are done. They're not going to come back to it because they're scared of it, right?
Yeah.
But if you're smart and you've been in this market for a while, like my buddy, there's always ups and downs.
Yeah.
It's consistent. It always happens.
Yeah.
So he knows that the coin is going to go down. It had a dramatic drop because it had a dramatic rise.
Yeah.
Right? And so it was at 5,800. Now it's back up to 10,000. Now it fluctuates between 9 and 10,000 right now. Eventually it'll fluctuate between 14 and 15,000. Then eventually it'll fluctuate between 24 and 25. It's going to get higher. It always gets higher than it was before.
Okay.
And so it's good for people to know about it so they buy the coin and the value of the coin goes up. But it's also good that it's better if it doesn't become too hot too fast. Because then what happens is financial institutions, what they'll do is they will send out negative press about what's going to be happening. People will start selling because they panic, and then the financial institutions make their own investment and buy it back up. And that's how they make their money doing that. They've been doing that on stock for a while. You know, all they have to do is they use the media as their tool. They send out negative stuff, and it screws us. So what? You know, like I had 1,500 in Bitcoin, and I made all this money, and I freed up the money, but then the price dropped dramatically, and then I only had like $600. And so most people will be like, "Oh, I need to sell and keep my $600." But why do that? I already lost $900. Why would I do that?
Yeah.
Why not just leave it in there and see what happens? If it keeps dropping and I lose my money, I'm either all in or all out. That's it.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna sell midway through. So then my money went all the way back up. It's not all the way back up to the top, but it did go back up again.
Yeah.
Because that's the difference. You need to be long term. You need to not be a panic seller, which a lot of people are. And there's going to be a lot more panic sellers when you get the general population into it because they don't understand how the market works. And so it's a good investment.
Yeah.
If you can invest, it's good. I got a neighbor that's invested. I also talked to Alex. You know, Alex played basketball with. And he wanted to invest. And he should have invested a long time ago. I don't think he did. But I mean, I check stuff all the time. So I'm still involved with a lot of stuff. Like I have Coinbase app.
Yeah.
You know, show me right now Bitcoin is at 9,600. It's dropped 3% in the last couple hours, and that's the amount of money that I have based off of what I put in there right now.
Yeah.
So that's about $200 up from what I put in there on my Bitcoin, but I still got all my altcoins too.
Yeah.
That I have money invested too. So even though I might be fluctuating a little bit, eventually it will rise, and if it goes on a crazy rise again, then you have to anticipate it and sell when it gets close to the top because a dramatic rise will result in a dramatic fall at some point. And it'll just keep doing that. It's kind of like stock.
Yeah.
So the key is to just always invest in platform, which is Bitcoin, have some money invested in that.
Yeah. And
then find some altcoins that, you know, you've heard about or you read about or look like they're going to be successful based off of their business or their partnerships or anything along those lines. And then there's always like new fads, like blockchain starting to pick up.
Can you explain altcoins to the people who don't know what altcoins are?
Altcoins are coins that have digital value just like Bitcoin, except they're normally company coins. They're related to a company or a business outside of Bitcoin. So they're not the same as a Bitcoin. They're normally a lot cheaper. Like some of them might be a cent, some of them might be $40, some might be $400.
Oh.
But their price, the rise and fall of their price typically is driven by the platform, the Bitcoin, or the direction of the business. Like if sometimes they'll inflate information like, we're partnering with this person, so people start buying that coin like crazy. Yeah. And then the price goes up on the coin. And then most people find out that, they really weren't partnering with it. And so the price of the coin will drop. But people will sell at the top. Yeah. And so they'll inflate. But sometimes that stuff is real. They'll be like, we're partnering with this person. And then the price of the coin, like, doubles. I remember there was a coin, it was a lending platform where you could put a lending investment in and make an interest on it, and they had a coin, and it was Devore. Devore coin started at like $2, and then At its peak, it was $174 a coin.
What?
You want to know what it is now? 2 cents.
Oh, you
And
see?
the reason that it's 2 cents is because the lending platform went under. So people didn't trust the coin anymore. The lending platform went under, and so the coin went back down, but it went down dramatically to 2 cents.
Damn.
Will there be a chance the coin will go back up? Yeah. If you have money in it and it goes down to 2 cents, why would you take it out? Maybe it'll go back to $2, $3.
Yeah.
That's still like a big chunk of your money back. You know what I mean? So it's hit or miss.
What you buy now?
Whatever you invest, just be willing to lose it. Don't invest money that you're like, oh my God, that's really going to affect you if you lose that. Can't do that. You got to invest it and just say it's gone. And then if it makes money for you, it makes money for you. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. Yeah. That's hard for people. It's just not easy to do that. You know what I mean? No, because money's money. But you can't have the high reward without the risk. It's just, that's not how it works, right? When you go to the store and you buy a lotto ticket, you buy that ticket because there's a chance that you can win. Sure, it's a slim chance, but when you look at the app or online and you see somebody won, somebody wins, right? Somebody could be you. You know, you never know. But you got to take that risk in order to maybe have a shot at that reward. Right?
It's like being in a dope game. That's what it is.
It's
you can
real
either go to jail or you can make money.
It's funny that you mention that, because I really think that a lot of those people ended up going to jail, or they don't. It's because they don't know how to stop. It's not that they're bad at what they do. They're really good at it. But once you start making that type of money and you don't know when to say, you know what, I'm good, it's time to cut it out. Because it ain't never that simple. It ain't never just to cut out.
Yeah.
You know,
it's hard to, say you done when you can make 100,000.
It's hard without a plan, too. Yeah. Like none of the people going there with a plan. They just come out and they get, they make all this money and stuff, but they don't know when to stop, right? And then the problem is, if you can't stop, eventually you're going to get caught. If some of those people somewhere. Are like, I made like $200 million. I'm going to sell off my business to somebody else. I'll let you run it or something. I'm out. I'm done. Mm-hmm. If they could do that, there's a good chance they might not get caught as much as they do. Almost all those people eventually get caught.
Yeah, cause, I mean, once you sell
then what's the money worth at that point? Like, what is it worth? You ain't doing nothing.
You ain't putting it into nothing. You know what? You know how some cats would be like, man, this cat ain't doing that. Like when it comes to music, right? A lot of these people invest like a millionaire. He's a tech guy now. He's probably making more than what he was making it when he was rapping. No telling. I'm like, and that's the one thing, man. I think, that would sound bad. Drug dealers should teach business 101. Sound bad.
You got to think about it. Some of them could be some good CEOs.
Some of them can be some good CEOs, and that's for real. But
it's because they selling the product that they don't have to sell. The product sell itself.
And that's true.
Just like McDonald's food. You don't got to put a commercial out. It's going to sell itself.
From the name.
Yeah.
It's like Jordans and Jordans and LeBrons.
Now that you say that, what do you think is more important, being book smart or street smart?
Street smart.
I would say street smarts because
you can learn some stuff out of the book that won't never help you in school, never help you in life.
Yeah,
you can learn some things in life in the street that can get you in trouble and never help you in life. So I'm just trying to get you to think subjectively, because this is kind of how my life was, because I've been on both sides of the spectrum. Mm-hmm. I've come from the inner city of Detroit, and then I graduated from the suburbs with a bunch of rich white kids. You know what I mean? So I've been on both sides of the suburbs. So this is the way I said, I know that I need to be book smart in order to succeed in the corporate world, right? To make it good in the corporate world, but I have to have a way to make that book smart still fuel my street smarts. Because street smarts is about life. Mm-hmm. Like, if I ever got to the point to where I couldn't go back to my old hood and I couldn't live comfortably, that's an issue. That means that I lost my savvy. I lost my ability to thrive. And my kids ain't gonna have that. You know what I mean? Like, my kids, you work hard so your kids don't have to live the life that you live. But maybe everything you live ain't all that bad. Like, I knew how to hustle. I knew how to thrive in intense situations with other people. Not everybody was bad. There's a lot of great families and great
Yeah.
people around, and that everybody always think about the hood. Everybody's bad, man.
Yeah,
You can
they
go walk
are.
around the hood
No.
and like totally different mentality. You walk around the hood, be like, "How you doing, son? Good morning." Everybody's
what?
really nice and stuff, but you got those bad seeds in there, and you need to
And
know how
that's
to
all it
survive in
is.
situations.
And that's all
But
it is.
growing up in the hood shows you how to survive.
Yeah.
Because you have to make the best of your situation.
Yeah.
So anything other than that is like a walk in the park.
That's true.
But that's
You know.
exactly my point, and so that's where most people stop at. And so that's why I said they have to fuel each other, because surviving ain't enough.
And that's
Why
true.
are you just living your life to survive?
Yeah,
Right?
And normally, in some situations, like when it comes to in the hood, some people may not have the funds, so the kids may have to work at an early age to help the moms, just so they can, survive. And then they don't want to leave their parents, and they kind of stuck in that. I have to help my parents out. I have to, drop everything, so they're surviving. But I see what you're saying, man.
That's
Being
rough,
on
though,
both,
because you only got one
really
life to live, and it's like my mom, if she got old enough where she couldn't take care of herself, I want to be in a position where I can take care of her, but I still am able to live my life successfully. Why can't you have both?
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying about being book smart and street
Street
smart. They
smart,
need to
yeah.
be able to feed off each other.
Yeah.
Like I need to be able to go into this corporate world and use some of the things that made me hungry in the streets,
Yeah,
and have the intelligence to apply them into what I'm doing, so that I can succeed. Like you have to be able to have both on the spectrum, because surviving just not enough for me. I only got one life to live. I want to be able to enjoy it, and just surviving, most people don't really enjoy that,
too busy working.
and it's just, we take it for granted. I mean, just look at just the people that are just so quick to take a life. Like everybody takes life for granted,
Oh,
but you
man.
really only got one. I know that you feel in your heart you're gonna wake up tomorrow, and that's cool. Like that's all right. I think I'm gonna wake up tomorrow too, but tomorrow is just one more day to my death.
And
That's
that's
simple.
true.
Guaranteed.
No, it's not. Like, what if it's like 2 weeks for me? Like I drive 44 miles one way to work. Like that driving is dangerous as it gets.
As it gets.
And so I just, it's never enough for me. I remember I became, complacent in the job that I had, and I was making like $35K a year, and I was like, man, this is just not for me. And everybody has, that mindset. And I think in life, you have a certain mindset, and you're like, I need to get out, but sometimes the opportunity to get out is not really like there yet. But sometimes it'll hit you in the face, and like people just sit there like a deer in headlights. You just kind of take it, because life is like, that hard work, and then you need a little luck. A little luck needs to be there. But what you do with those lucky opportunities that you get, because it's not just gonna, maybe it unlocks the door, but maybe it don't open the door for you, right?
Yeah.
But I'm serious. It's like
May
a little
give you a
luck.
taste.
I can think of things that are just like pure luck.
Yeah, pure luck.
I'm like, that is just luck. I'm very blessed and fortunate to have that type of luck, but I think everybody get them lucky opportunities. I think some people just don't go with them. You know what I mean?
Hey, I say this. I ain't gonna lie. This right here, apartment, this townhome that I'm in, was a lucky move. Because getting that notice on your door is not the best thing. And for me to have this, man, and be like, I'm going to my home, man, it's the best feeling. I don't take nothing for granted, man.
But not a lot of people feel it. So let me give you an example. See, I respect that. That's great. And from our backgrounds, we know you really don't take it for granted.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I remember my best friend, when I moved to the suburbs, was a white kid. He had a big, like, 5-bedroom house off of the lake. He had his own boat, his own deck. His pantry was always stocked with snacks at their house. Yeah.
Oh, at his house.
Yeah, no,
His
his parents got him his own house. I mean, not his own house. They got him his own boat. He had a Hobie cat. They got him his own boat. And they had a man-made lake behind them, so we can go swim in the lake and stuff. And they always had their pantry, like, full of snacks and stuff for the kids and whatever they wanted, right? Because it was him and his brother. And I was like, man, when I get older, I want to make sure my kids, I have the same, like, setup. I want them to be able to go to the pantry, get whatever they want.
Yeah.
Because I just loved it so much as a kid to be able to go to their house. If I didn't have nothing in mind, I can go over there, and they have, like, everything. It's like a paradise, beautiful house and everything. And so I like strive for that. But then I'm like, man, I didn't like put two and two together. I'm like, these two kids are like spoiled brats. Like they really are. And they were not nice to their parents. Sometimes I look at my buddy, I'm like, you really talk to your mom like that? My mom would kill me if I talked to her like that. You crazy. But they get away with that. And then I'm like, man, you know, like I see some of that spoiledness in some of my kids a little bit. And I'm like, that's driving me nuts that I overlooked that. That was my fault. You know, I'm only thinking about one side of the situation, not the other side.
Yeah.
And so it's all about that balance. You know what I mean? I'm trying to find that balance.
I get like that sometimes.
But they don't get that. They don't get that humble feeling of, you know, even my wife. So, you know, she gets certain things naturally, right? Like from our situation, you get stuff naturally. You know, she's came from nothing too. You know, there's a point her family lived at the YWCA. You know, they didn't have a house to go to, so she know what it feel like. But when you're in a position where you're getting stuff all the time, it's kind of like just a part of your life. And so it's hard to like stop and say, oh, you know what? I appreciate this. And I don't blame the person, you know, it's just a situation. It's, sometimes it makes it real hard to do that, you know what I mean?
I mean, but what you got to think about your kids is, it's the only life they know.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't.
We just had a conversation about braiding, you know, and they took him to the black barber shop and Paul to get his haircut, the same one Kyle go to, and just how uncomfortable he was in there. And I'm like, dang, really? I'm like, you know, I can blend, I can go to whatever. I could be in the deepest hood of hood, and then I can be in like a place where I'm the only black person, and I'll still thrive. But that's because that's my experience. I've been in both those environments before, and my kids, you know, they're African American, they're Mexican, and they're white. But they really have only had an opportunity to embrace the Caucasian part of their heritage. They don't really have any, because my family's not really involved, especially because I'm here now, you know. And then Bree's dad's side of her family is in Arizona, and so they really don't get that exposure. And so it's just things, you know, like I try to want to create that balance for them, you know what I mean? And
I think they have to go, you know, see it, you express it to them, you know, you break it down to them, because I always break it down to my boys. I'm like, look, bro, it's both sides of the story, because my wife, you know, all of her family's up here, my family's in New Orleans. So when we go there, they'll have a sense of what I mean with what I say, you know, with how I talk, because, man, after Katrina, we were in this little spot called Simpsonwood, and it was like a retreat where business people go when they're on a little retreat or not, and they have their room. And when it came, it was my mom's, my two sisters, and I, and I see myself twice. But
was just to be big.
Double trouble.
But nah, man, we were standing in one room with two beds. And we were thankful because we didn't have nothing to go back to. And I'm like, say, fellas, if y'all was to come home and see your house like it was, remember that you got your Xbox over here. Remember you got your TV, your pictures. You got this and that. I said, now imagine if you came home and you found your favorite basketball in the toilet. If you found your entertainment center flipped upside down and your Xbox at the top. If the pictures that you made or whatnot is still on the wall hanging with mildew and the smell is stinks. If you go there and see what you lived in, gone and destroyed, man, that would be like the hardest feeling. And that's what humbled me. I ain't gonna lie. Because we had to go gut our house down. And
you had to do it. The city did it to ours.
Man.
It's still standing on the block. It's just sad. I took Bree back to the block. I took my buddy Nige. He's from Brooklyn. Yeah. He's my friend from Arizona. I took him back to the block, and my cousins, they still live over there.
Yeah.
Because so on our block it was my grandparents' house, which my uncle would stay at, and my mom would stay at from time to time. So I lived there too.
Yeah.
And then it was just the house in the middle, and then next to that was my cousin's house. So my cousins are like my brothers and sisters. I grew up with them. And then it's my aunt that lives there. And then across the street, my Uncle Tim, his dad lived across from my grandfather. So my cousin Tiffany had her grandfather on her dad's side right across the street. And then the grandfather on her mom's side was across the other side. So we had the whole family. It was a nice block. It was family oriented. It was a pretty good block. Yeah. But we had other blocks on the other side of us that weren't the same.
Wow.
But when we go back there, my grandfather, before he passed, he sold the house to the city. And so they ain't ever tear it down, and nobody ain't burned it down yet because there's a lot of arson in Detroit. So you'll see I went back to the block last time. So my grandfather's house is still standing, but it's got like tree roots and stuff growing through it. And I'm sure it's like crackheads be squatting and stuff. And then there's a house in the middle which is like falling apart. And then there's my cousin's house, which used to be my aunt's house, but my cousin Tim, he lived there now. Yeah. And then across the street where their grandfather and the dad's side was, my cousin Derek lives in that house now because they own both of them. My aunt and uncle owns both of those. Yeah. And then as you go down the block, you see like abandoned house, empty plot from a burned down house, abandoned, empty plot. Like that's the way the streets are starting to look now.
Oh man,
that sounds like where I'm from.
Yeah, that's
like knocked them down.
And it nuts. Like both houses I grew up with in Detroit are pretty much gone. That one's still standing, but that one's gone. But my dad's house, he said my dad lived in that house 39 years, guys. 39 years for his life. He lived in that house. And his wife had talked him into moving out, and they moved to a different town. Like it's probably like 25, 30 minutes away. And I guess somebody moved in that house, and I guess they deal drugs, and the house got firebombed, burned to the ground. It's gone.
Dang, your memory, man. Yeah. It's like the worst feeling.
I feel even worse for my father than I do for myself. I'm like, I didn't even get to see the house again, and I can picture it in my head, but it's gone. Yeah. Detroit, man, the arson in houses
is that bad? So they just go around if they want to.
I don't know what it is. I don't know why the house be burning down like that. Detroit. I don't know who's burning the houses down, but the houses, I mean, those blocks are bad, man.
Suspicious.
What you mean?
They burn them down, the value of the property goes down. Somebody come in,
development comes down.
They start pushing everybody out, and they start building.
They're trying to start from downtown out.
Wait, what is it called?
That's really what they doing there, but
gentrification.
Oh yeah, it is.
What is it called?
You're
gentrification.
Right. It's gentrification.
Yeah,
and they are doing that. They're starting from downtown and moving out. Like downtown used to be a little suspect, and now it's like beautiful. It's like Toronto downtown.
That's like NBA team back downtown Detroit. They was always. How far were they from downtown?
They were in Auburn Hills. They were way far away.
That's the equivalent of here in Bellevue?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
From where?
Right.
From Seattle?
Yeah.
No, right from here to Bellevue.
Oh, from here
to Bellevue. Yeah.
All because it was that bad.
Like a 30-minute drive.
That's what Seattle's doing. Rebuilding from downtown.
Well, they kicked everybody out like off rain.
And they just gonna keep coming down.
That's what it is.
Because think about it. Yeah, Renton got crazy. Now they rebuilding. Kent getting crazy. They rebuilding. Yeah, man, they got the new Y coming up. Say, bro, Kent prices are going up.
In Kent?
They building it. Yep, it should be done by 2019 or 2020. Up the hill off of 240. Matter of fact, on all the way up James Hill, it's about to go down.
It's
so
crazy
think
how
about
they
it, man.
Doing the cities, man, because back in the day, like especially in Detroit with the auto industry and everything. I mean, it was one of those prosperous cities in the world, and then the crash happened. And then the market went down, and African Americans started buying houses in white neighborhoods. And so what happens is it started to mix, and the auto industry was desperate for people to work because they didn't have the funds to pay the high end wages. Yeah. And so they had these African American workers come in also, and it scared a lot of the rich white folk that lived there, and they moved north. Yeah. And that's how it's been. And that's really it's like an invisible line between Detroit and the suburbs. So it's the only place I've ever seen that's been so different. Like a yin and a yang. Like as soon as you cross over a 16-mile road, it's like a totally different city. Totally different place. You never seen anything like it.
Oh, I did. So New Orleans is like that.
Yeah, and that's crazy that it's like that. So
it's
for the fact of them trying to build
over on that.
Oh, it's not even close. And then the crime doesn't really spill over as much as you think. It doesn't really spill over that much.
That's talking about a different set of rules.
But they're building it downtown real nice, and they're working their way out like this. And what it's going to do is it's going to push the poverty. They can't go north.
You notice they always push poverty south.
What I think it's going to do is it's going to push it down this time.
Yeah. They push
they always going to push it down in Ohio or Indiana or something like that.
That's what, south. Because you know what? Because if you notice, a lot of Southern folks go up north, right?
Yeah.
What do you mean? down south they go to the north part of the city.
No,
like,
man. Up
No,
north,
the northern
period.
part of the United States.
Yeah.
And you notice how up north is starting to push everything back. It's pushing everything down, like you said,
Yeah.
man.
Isn't it funny though? Because all of us got ancestors that came from the South. Like my family's from Alabama and Georgia.
Man.
So it's real funny, you know, they all come from the South. So that just proves your point right there, is that
Yeah.
everybody look north to live a different type of American dream.
Man, my grandfather, he was a Golden Glove boxer from Chicago. My grandmother was from Mississippi, and I did not know that on my dad's side. And I don't know what the Indian, Creole, Cajun, all that good stuff. My grandmother looks completely white, so we from everywhere. It's different. I'll say that. But
Man,
you
it's
never
the
know where you're
yin
from,
yang
though,
United
man.
States, man,
Yeah,
I'm telling
man,
you.
it's everywhere, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It is everywhere, man.
I mean, back in the day, people, all the slaves down south tried to get north.
And that's
You
true.
was more equal up
Yeah.
north.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is true.
A different type of American dream, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
and
even down south, I mean, before I moved, it used to be segregated.
yeah,
Like, you can tell, like, once you get past that part, it's
Yeah.
some nice big houses.
yeah. It's like that in New Orleans. Like literally, bro. Like separated from one street from Canal Street. Man, you go to literally cross that bridge. You like, is that a mansion? And over here, you see a rundown little neighborhood. I'm like, damn, just like that.
Well, I mean, you know, they going to take care of the part that got the money.
Yeah,
You know, the police presence going to be way different than the part that got the money.
oh yeah, because once they see somebody that's unrecognizable that they never seen before, shoot,
Just like
Yeah.
Bunny Lake. Shoot.
it's
Yeah.
different.
You go
yeah.
back there at the end of 214, you know, it's a little different than over there by Sky Island.
Yeah,
You just got to remember, though, I mean, there's a lot of still older homeowners that are still here from back when Bonnie Lake was a totally different town. I was just explaining that to my oldest boy. It's like, you just got to be careful when you're around some of these parts, because a lot of people have conservative points of view. And, you know, that's their point of view. That doesn't mean they're a bad person, but at the same time, you know, that this is a town that doesn't come from a diverse background.
Oh yeah,
So
and
you
that's
gotta
when
be
it's
careful.
hard. Yeah,
Right.
especially when you start integrating like that. Some people don't know how to
Some
feel
girl
about that.
posted on the Bonnie Lake community page. This black girl moved here from Texas, and she was like real qualified for bartender or serving job. She couldn't get one around Bonnie Lake at all. And then I was reading comments. People say, "Yeah, we've experienced that here too," and all this. And I'm like, "Dang, you know, because I don't work." in Bonnie Lake.
Yeah.
I was like, that's unfortunate, you know, but
It is.
it's life.
And it's sad to say, because we have to teach our kids these values, man. And it's sad that, not saying it's us, but as an adult, that you
I think, you know, you got to teach the kids the black history. Because they not really going to learn it depending on where they go to school at.
unless
Absolutely,
it's the same
100%.
history though. You think about it, man. The only people, honestly, that I learned about in history, black history, Harriet Tubman, Malcolm X, Frederick Douglass, Rosa Parks. I say Martin Luther
You
King,
learn about Carver.
George Washington Carver. We learned about
Christmas
Carver.
addicts.
It wasn't that many. I'll be honest. I don't know bro. I don't remember that many.
Jesse Jackson.
We remember Jesse Jackson, but every year it's kind of like we learned a little more information on that one person versus somebody that we didn't know, like a Thomas, Latimer. I think that was his name.
Thomas Edison.
No, Latimer. That was the guy who helped. What's his name?
Shoot.
No, I got it. That was the guy who helped Thomas Edison with helping him with the extension of the light bulb.
Let me tell you guys, man, about that type of stuff. So history was the only class I was allowed to not excel in, because my mom wanted me to question history.
Oh,
And if you do a lot of research, you learn about American people back in the day, and this makes sense from an African American perspective too, but stealing a lot of the invention designs from other people, like
that's what I would do.
and with Thomas Edison, the big one was Tesla, and Tesla
Wait a minute.
it's
Thomas
pretty.
Edison and Tesla?
It's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty well known that Tesla was the real true inventor of electricity.
Yeah.
And not Thomas Edison. But, it's still kind of debatable unless you were there, but there's a lot of proof out there. And there's a lot of stuff, man, that we're taught that's not entirely true.
About the cars.
No, that's who the car's named after.
I'm about to wait. He said it. He said wait.
Tesla was a real person.
No.
I'm thinking about was Monk, what's his name? The guy who run it now? Elon Monk or something? Funk or something?
Yeah, you're right.
See, now that's what I'm thinking when he said Tesla. I'm like, what Tesla?
That's what I'm about. Like, wait,
Tesla
that's
was a real person.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Look it up.
we just learned something right now.
Well, if you think about it,
Chris.
but if you think about it, though, man, slaves wasn't able to patent their inventions until 1863. So,
like Hidden Figures,
man,
see that? All that work that they did, them female mathematicians did, and they didn't get credit for it at all until
that movie.
It's a fantastic movie,
Man,
Hidden
it was,
Figures is
man.
fantastic. But you know what? I could blow your mind with all sorts of stuff, and it's like things that you did, things that you
Tesla.
that you
That's
think
your new
in
nickname.
society is crazy that you just never know. Like for example, there is.
Due to your favorite podcast that's having a gift of gab, we will divide this episode into 2 parts. So please stay tuned in and enjoy the show.
You know how we ended off? Cal and Jay, a day. Go!
You know we got 'em.